Welcome to the Coffee with Phil and Jim podcast, where two guys drink coffee and talk about stuff. And now your hosts, Phil and Jimmy Nic.
Hey listeners, Phil here with the Coffee with Phil and Jim podcast. I'm here in the studio today with my cohort in crime, Jimmy Nic.
This is Jimmy Nic.
And we have a great conversation to start today. But before we do, I want to remind everybody to make sure you search, subscribe, and share. We're on Facebook, YouTube, Spreaker app, and Apple Podcast. And for those that are on Spotify, iHeart, and Pandora, give us a little time. We will be on those platforms as well. Also, you may join or continue the conversations that we have on our podcast by emailing us at coffeewithphilandjim@gmail.com. You can also search us up on Facebook, direct message us, or comment on our Facebook page as well to join or continue any conversation that we have. We would love to hear from you. Again, this is a conversation podcast, so it's not we just have information. We want to hear from you. We want to have a conversation, and I think we're pretty real about things, and that's part of our conversations is talking about things that probably some people don't want to talk about, and that's okay. That's what we want to do because there are a lot of difficult conversations that need to happen, so that's part of our podcast here at the Coffee with Phil and Jim podcast. So, Jimmy Nic, something that's been on my heart for a little bit and has grown closer to what I feel we need to conversate and talk about is technology and our children's. And I'll tell you kind of how this started real quick. First of all, this Momo challenge.
What?
Momo challenge. Momo, yep. Momo challenge, it is a challenge that has been explained where they go out and while kids are watching YouTube, they infiltrate these YouTube videos and put this picture, it's a sculpture of a Japanese artist, it's a really creepy face, and infiltrating these YouTube kids and YouTube videos like Peppa Pig and things like that. And basically, it's throwing out challenges and it's telling them they need to go slit their wrists, don't tell their parents or they're going to haunt their parents too. And it's a little quick thing and then it goes back to the cartoon.
Well, that's just crazy.
Yeah.
This picture of Nancy Pelosi. You said hideous and all that.
It's not that scary.
Not that scary yet. But anyway, no, I mean, there's got to be, first of all, the people that operate them systems ought to have some control over what goes on there. Mm-hmm. And if they're putting that out there and letting that allowed to be out there, then they ought to be held responsible because you should be held responsible for the content of what you produce and put out there.
Right.
And if you're allowing that, then they need to step in and do something to put a stop to that, period. And I don't care where it generates at, whether it generates in Japan or the United States or mainly California probably, but but right now they're forcing away down there anyway. So,
well, the Momo challenge is one of probably 20 in the past, I would say maybe 2 years. There was a challenge called Blue Whale Challenge, and that was a challenge that was on different social media platforms, specifically towards kids to try to challenge. They would do things. They challenge them to go do things and end up trying to commit suicide or kill themselves.
Well, I mean, they've had all kinds of things on that, and they had it where they'd go out and meet as a group and just go out and randomly meet as a group and start beating up people.
Oh, yeah.
All this kind of stuff out there. There's no parental control, like I said.
Yeah.
When mom and dad are out at the beer joint on Friday night sitting there having a cold one and the kids doing who knows what, and they're not watching them, they don't know who their friends are, they don't even know where they go, and they really don't even care.
Right.
That's the way the society has become. So, and you got these children, they don't understand these teenagers aren't grown-ups, and they need to quit treating them like grown-ups. They're not mature enough to handle this stuff, and any little thing to set a teenager off, they're so what's the term I want to use here? They're not really mature enough to handle a lot of situations in this life,
Right.
and so
But
they're
think
looking
they
for
are.
acceptance. Yeah, but they're looking for acceptance from people. And when they don't get that acceptance, then it basically just kind of crushes. They don't see the big picture. They see the immediate thing in front of them. It kind of just crushes their life right there.
Yeah.
And so they start thinking bad things about themselves. It's never going to get better. They look at that as that's the end result. That's all it's ever going to be.
Right.
And that could be for somebody bullying them, or just mean, or just being rejected by the crowd. Something like that. Any little thing to set it off. So you give them these triggers. You send out these triggers over the internet, and you got somebody out there that's primed for that. And what are they going to do? They're going to act on it.
Right.
And then the parent goes, I just didn't know, because you didn't take the time to find out. You didn't invest in that child's life.
Yeah.
And you need to do that.
And that's my point of all of this is, as parents and guardians, we need to have those relationships with our kids. We need to have those conversations. We need to monitor these things. And I don't want parents to hear this and think, well, what, and get upset because they feel like we're telling how to raise their children. But here's the deal. I have been in student ministry for almost 15 years, and it changes exponentially, and it's way different than it was even 3 years ago. And a lot of that, in my opinion, from what I've seen, the teens that I've talked to, the teens that I minister to, it's because of social media. It's because of technology that's connected with all that stuff. And I'm not saying it's horribly bad, but there are things that we need to be aware of, and we need to monitor those things that our kids are doing.
Because you take when I was growing up, you didn't have all this technology, for one thing.
Right.
You either had the home phone, or you went down and used the pay phone on the corner, or go over to your buddy's house, whatever. But you didn't have all this. You didn't have all this coming into your home. Your kids, they associated with the kids they went to school with, the kids in the neighborhood there. That there was their whole, deal there. Now they're talking to somebody in, like I said, Japan or anywhere in the world, and they don't even know who they're talking to. Right. Now they're told, well, I'm a 15-year-old boy, and I'd like to meet you and all this stuff, and they're not. And yet they want to trust people, and they want that acceptance. When somebody starts telling them how, they show them a picture, oh, you're so pretty, and you're so this, and you're so that. Well, they like that. They want that. They're craving for that attention, and they're wanting that attention. And so
they're not getting that attention from their parents.
They're not getting it at home. And so they step out into this, and it ends most of the time tragically.
Right.
Unless like you've got the police that have set it up looking for these perverts out there, and that's what they are.
Which I want to let's segue that thought here. For those parents, guardians, people that are listening to our podcast as of right now, I want to. There are. I mean, this incorporates a lot, and this is very something I'm very passionate about because, one, I'm seeing it affect the lives of families, of teenagers, of all kinds of stuff. So, this is a conversation again that I think we have to have. There is on YouTube. There's a gentleman named Kobe Person, and that's COBYPERSIN, Kobe Person. And this guy, he's on YouTube. You can search him up, subscribe, and see what he's all about. But this guy works with parents, and he creates these fake accounts, and he works with parents, creates these fake accounts, and basically baits these teenagers. There's one, and I would highly suggest, because we're going to talk about it a little bit in our podcast today, but I would highly suggest that you go to YouTube and you search The Dangers of Snapchat Child Predator Experiment. We will also have this link in our comment section and on YouTube and our Facebook. So you can check out our Facebook, check our YouTube. I'll have this information on there along with some of the other things we're going to talk about here that's available on YouTube. But it's called The Dangers of Snapchat. And this Kobe guy, he worked with, in this video, he worked with 3 different parents. And it's amazing to me, these parents, they worked with them. They set up this account. They ended up talking with these kids. These kids set up a time to meet. One even went over to a house that didn't even know. Guy opened the door. Of course, it was an actor. It was an actor guy who was part of this deal. Opened the door. They thought they were meeting someone their age, and come to find out, around the corner is their parent.
Yeah, but I saw that there was a black lady, right?
Yeah.
That said that, there's no way my daughter will come here. Mm-hmm. There's no way. I know her. She'll never come here. She'll never do this. Well, she showed up.
Right.
She not only came to the house, she went upstairs and went into a bedroom.
Right.
And there she was left there by herself. And of course, the person coming in then was her mother. Mm-hmm. But if that had been some kind of predator, it'd been all over that poor girl.
Right.
And, we think our children won't do that kind of things, but they will.
Yeah.
And, it's just the way it is, I don't know if I ought to say this or not, but teenagers are generally stupid. In fact, human beings are generally stupid. Now, you're stupid from the time you're a teenager till you can be 90 years old and stupid. The only time we're going to quit being stupid is when we go to heaven, because he don't allow stupid up there. So you got to take in consideration, all of us can do stupid things at any time in our lives. But as a teenager, because you're changing, everything's changing, you're starting to grow up, things are being brought to you that you never had to deal with before. And it just overwhelms them, and then there's that sense of wanting to be a part of something and being accepted by some people. And so somebody tells you,
Right.
You're real cute and you're this and that. They eat it up, and they're not mature enough to handle that.
Right.
And so we need to understand these little teenagers aren't adults. They're not grown up. They have these feelings and desires, and they don't know what to do with them at that age. They break up with a boyfriend after they've been going together a week, and it's like a end of the world crisis and stuff. Mm-hmm. It's really, they're immature and they can't handle it. And you're giving them a weapon. I mean, that phone is not something that should be used in the way you're allowing them to use it. I mean, would you give your child a loaded gun that's never used one before and say, here, go play with this?
Right.
And then when you give them that internet, that's exactly what you're doing. Right. And then the consequences happen. So I didn't think that would happen. It's not the real world. I mean, there's a lot of meanness out there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of evil out there, and they prey on the young and they prey on the elderly. So they go after the most vulnerable people on the planet, and that's who they go after.
That's right, and that's the predators out there for sure.
So they come after the weak. It's just like any predator that goes after anything. Like you go after a herded deer,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. They're going to go after the weak one, the sick one, the one that they can get a hold of.
Yeah,
puts up the least resistance. So.
Well, let me play you a little bit.
I don't know. Deer's even in herds. I don't know. Maybe it's buffalo.
I don't know. I'm a band nerd. I don't know anything about that. Let me play you a little bit, a clip of this Dangers of Snapchat video, and let you hear kind of what's about.
With the parents' permission, I added 3 kids, ages 12, 13, and 14 years old. This is what happened. This first girl's name is Samantha. She's 13 years old. She's been talking to our fake profile on Snapchat named Jackson for the last 3 or 4 days, and today we're supposed to meet up. So I'm here now with Steve, who's actually the father of Michaela from the first Dangers of social media.
Michaela, are you crazy? Are you out of your mind?
She ended up coming and meeting me at a park, the fake profile that we made.
And this
So
is her
time,
sister.
he has
She's
another
already
daughter
been
who
through
we're
it.
actually
Right,
testing out. Her
crazy.
name is Samantha. We've been actually chatting on Instagram, and then from there it went to Snapchat, and then from there I got her number. Steve is actually...
Okay, so let's stop right here. So it started on Snapchat and Instagram, and then what happened? She ended up giving him her number.
Right.
Getting the number. So this is happening. Now look what happened.
Monitoring this whole thing with a software called mSpy, which you can actually tell all the conversations that happen on the phone. It's a software that you download, and you can see where your kid is. You can see anything they send on Instagram, Snapchat. It's unbelievable. What do you think of that? It was cool how you can see it all, right, with that software?
Yeah,
it was nice.
Technology worked well.
So on the program, you were able to see all the stuff, Snapchats, call logs, text messages, Hangouts. You can see the location that she was at. photos, videos, every little thing. You would recommend it?
Now, MSpy is just one of many parental control things that you can use. I don't personally use them. I'm not in need as of right now, but if that's something that you may want to look into, most of them cost a little bit, some kind of subscription, things like that. They connect with the phones and tablets of your kids. And like I said here, this MSpy, I did a lot of research on this. It's a really good program to use for this. It tracks, it does all that stuff. It's really good, and it's parental controls are outstanding on that stuff. So obviously this is something that you can use. And I think this parent did as well.
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, it gives you all the information you need to really understand what your child's doing.
Steve left the house. She's the only one there right now, right?
Yeah,
Right?
she's the one.
Okay. So I'm waiting for her to let me know when we can come, or when she thinks Jackson's gonna come. Jackson's the boy who we made the fake profile with. Oh, here we go. She just said you can come now. My dad just left. Right now we're gonna go head over to the house, see if she actually opens the door or what's gonna happen. Are you nervous at all, or?
I'm just hoping that she learns. I'm just having a hard time understanding what she's thinking.
Jackson doesn't look anything like this, so it's gonna be interesting to see what she does when she sees him before she sees the father. So we're gonna send them out right now. You guys ready?
Yeah.
I'm walking to the door. Go.
Okay, so far they've made contact. He's at the Decoy guy that's part of this group with the parent in the car. Is setting up. He's walking up to the door right now, and we're gonna see how this goes down.
Seriously, Sam! This is not your friend.
So
You don't
parent
even know
just
who this is.
came out
Come
of the
out
corner.
here.
I met him on Snapchat.
Does that look like the same guy you were talking to? Seriously, does that look like the same guy? This is scary. Your sister. We went over this already. What are you not understanding? I'm speechless. I have no idea what to say right now. I thought you would have learned your lessons.
You showed her the video about Michaela?
Yeah.
What exactly were you thinking?
I was meeting my friend.
You literally just fell for the same thing yourself.
Okay, so notice that she said, "I'm just meeting my friend." I think that's another point of this conversation is a lot of students, a lot of teenagers, their friendships are online. There are through social media. There are other things. It becomes non-committal. It's easier, but it may not be the person that they're actually talking about. Here's another one real quick. This is a boy. His mom also, I think, used spyware.com stuff as well. They set up a deal. This little boy, he's 12 years old. He is meeting this girl, which is the fake profile, at the park. And
Yeah, this 12-year-old though shows up with a bottle of wine even. I mean,
yeah,
come on.
yeah. So check this out. Listen.
So he just said, I'm almost there. It's going to be so dope.
So he's walking up to the park, basketball court. The guys that did the fake profile are right there, and they're going to confront him, ask him if he's looking for this girl.
Yo, you Daniel? You here for Jesse? She's over here. Come here. I'll show you. She went on the side. I don't know. I've seen her going around the corner.
So he's following this dude. Don't even know who this dude is.
No, you're kidding me, right?
And there's mom.
Are you kidding me? We set up a fake profile on Snapchat, and you were stupid enough to go and meet somebody you don't know? You went to meet somebody with schoolwork in a backpack. Yeah, okay. Let me see what's in the backpack, Daniel. It's awfully heavy, Daniel, for schoolwork to be... Wine? Daniel, you took a bottle of wine from our house. You're 12 to meet a strange person in a park. You're kidding me, right? You don't know better? You don't know better. Am I doing something wrong as a parent? Tell me where did I go wrong? And,
Do you know the whole time you were talking to the fake profile that we made, named Jesse, and this could have ended a lot different. Some guy comes out, takes you in. Who knows what could happen? You can't be talking to random people if you don't actually know them. Don't add anyone you don't know. Don't talk to them. Anyone could say anything. It's so easy to make a fake profile these days.
Okay, so it is. It's so easy to make a fake profile. There's so many predators, pedophiles out there that are targeting these kids. They know how to target these kids. And Snapchat is right now one of the main avenues to that as well.
Well, after I watched them this morning, I went and looked it up here on just in Canadian County alone, how many times the sheriff department here has busted different people that they've used under that fake profile, thinking they were meeting one guy from Marlow. He didn't, which isn't even in Canadian County.
Right.
Agreed to meet a 15-year-old female, which of course it was a Canadian County sheriff. But it goes on here. It's supposed to have been pretending to be a 15-year-old Yukon girl. So it's all over the place. And if you don't think it's not happening in your neighborhood, there's just one story after another here of where the police have intervened in that in Canadian County alone, and how many times that they haven't been able to intervene in it. Mm-hmm. You got to think about that too. And it may just go unreported even to some degree, because it often does. And it's a dangerous situation, and if you don't get a handle on it, you're the parent here. You need to get a handle on this for your children, because if you don't, they're not responsible enough. You may think they are, but they're not adults, and they don't have a long enough life history to really know and comprehend all that they're getting into sometimes.
Right. And it's so easy. It's normal for kids to have technology now. I have a 10-year-old, I have an almost 8-year-old. They both have iPads. Those iPads not only have parental controls, but we check them. We watch what they watch. We have conversations with them about things. If they see something they feel inappropriate, for sure, they come talk to us. If they want to download an app, they have to ask. I have to research that app, make sure it's legit, and which is part of what I do. I research all this stuff. I'm constantly on top of these things because of being in student ministry, and and they have kids. My daughters have friends that say, "Oh, I download this app," and all that stuff. And there's tons of decoy apps out there. There are a ton of decoy apps. There are apps that look like calculators. They look like music apps. They look like fun, cute games. Yet these kids can hide pictures and messages and all those things through those decoy apps. So there's a lot of that. And I'll post a video as well on our Facebook and our YouTube page that gives you a little insight on the decoy apps as well. Okay, so let's talk about some apps real quick. Maybe your kids maybe have some of these apps, and I'll go real quick with these. There's several of them I want to talk about, and I'll tell you some things that you need to know about this. Something very popular with kids, especially that don't have necessarily working phones with data and stuff, but they may have an iPad or a tablet or something, is messaging apps. And messaging apps are good for texting and all that stuff, and you can set up with contacts. A couple of ones you have to really be careful of is the Kik Messenger app. That's KIK Messenger app. It's an app that lets kids text for free. It's pretty fast. There's no message limits, no character limits or fees, and the basic features. So it's a pretty good free app, and a lot of kids use that for their messaging situations. Something that you need to know about it is there's a really big stranger danger issue in this. because Kik allows communication with strangers who share their Kik username to find people to chat with. And so this app has been used in high-profile crimes, including something like there was a deal on the murder of a 13-year-old girl, and there's several child pornography cases through that because they allow the Kik users to share that for chat. It's also loaded with covert marketing because Kik specializes in promoted chats. So basically, conversations between brands and users. It also offers like specially designed apps, which offer products, and those products can be very inappropriate products. And so you got to be careful with that. And a lot of free apps, there's always advertising. Those advertising can be really, really bad. Also, the WhatsApp. The WhatsApp is also a text messaging. It's an audio, message, video, and photo app. Also, no message or limit. Something that we need to know is it's for users that are 16 and over.
What's up?
Yeah, WhatsApp?
What's up?
Yeah, WhatsApp. And there's a lot of pushiness to connect with people through the app, and it encourages you to add friends who haven't signed up yet. So, I say, hey, send this to your contact to sign up for this as well. A couple of photo and video sharing apps. Something that's very popular with teens and early 20s for sure is Instagram. Now, Instagram, it lets users snap, edit, and share photos and short videos, and you can share those publicly or privately with a network of different followers.
You'll put a list of this on our Dale, won't you? So they'll be able to go in and get the information.
Yeah, this will be on our Facebook and our YouTube page. It'll also be in the description of our
well, I know because exactly what you're doing here is you deal with this every day on an everyday basis, and you see what comes and goes just through our church here, and how these parents are, a lot of them are, and it's a sad thing because their child's trying to find the Lord and get their lives right, and yet they don't have anything at home that helps them in that, and so you end up losing a lot of them that you shouldn't be losing just simply because we're a decadent society. I mean, there's no way around it. We have children, but we don't want to take care of them. We treat them like they're there, but they're not there.
Or we treat them like they're trying to be our best friends. And
I mean, I'm best friends with my kids, but they're grown up. When they were kids, and I was still the parent in this situation.
Right.
What I said went. I may not have listened all the time, but what I said went.
Yeah.
But anyway, I wasn't a perfect parent, and I don't know anybody that truly is, but, take time, invest time in your children's lives because, they're not going to be kids forever. When they grow up, maybe if you're nice enough to them, might come see you once in a while,
Yeah.
At least that much,
Well, and that's something that...
Well, being nice don't mean you have to be their best friend.
Right. You're still the parent.
You're still the parent in this situation. They don't watch what you watch. They don't do what you do that's what it should be, though.
Right.
Like, after... I made sure of one thing, that after, my son, his mother died, that I never went anywhere, as a rule, I never went anywhere where I couldn't take my child in.
Right.
Period. But people do that, and they leave them in cars and everything else, And so you got to set some rules, boundaries for yourself. This is your child. You don't go beyond this because this child is watching you.
Yeah.
And they're looking at you. You're the parent, and they're watching you. And if you say it's okay, they're going to see nothing wrong with it, and they're going to do it. And so parents need to be careful what they're looking at on the internet, what they're putting on Snapchat or Facebook or whatever, because them children see that, and they're going to imitate you. They're going to say, well, if that's okay, I can do it too. You more or less are giving them, when you don't do that, you more or less are giving them permission to do it.
Right.
And we need to grow up as parents.
Man. Whew. Well, Jimmy Nic said it all. Let's pray and get no, you're right. I agree with that for sure because parents, and I'm a parent and you're a parent, and I mean, you got grandkids now and stuff.
I got great grandkids. 2 of them.
Dang, how old are you? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, you know, I was 90. Me and Betty White's in a foot race for 100 here, so if that says anything, you know.
Betty White's gonna win.
I probably will. I don't ever see 100 in my, you know, down the road there. So, but I'm not worried about that because I got eternity elsewhere. So
That's right.
I already got that. That's already been arranged. So that's taken care of.
There you go.
So
Well, going back to these apps, you know, we do have the Instagram app. Teens really look. Instagram can be a problematic app because teens look for validation and popularity on Instagram because they look for those likes because it's basically a photo and video sharing app. So that's really all you can do. And you can do polls and things like that. And there's a lot of teens, especially girls, that will post a picture and put polls up there. Say, do you think I'm hot or not? And there's polls. It's ridiculous. But
crazy.
then you have another photo and video sharing app is TikTok. TikTok is it's a performance video sharing social network. And that mostly features teens lip syncing to famous songs. It includes some original songwriting, some dancing, things like that. It's really short. There's a cap on how long the videos can be. Something we need to know about this app is the songs and video contain really iffy content because this platform features popular music and a mix of teen and adult users. Swearing and sexuality content are really commonplace in that app. And then also the teens feel like they gain importance by gaining followers and they feel important. So that's something there. Really quick, another set of apps is a micro blogging apps and sites like Tumblr. Tumblr is a cross between a blog and Twitter. It's like a streaming scrapbook. So you can add text, photos, video, audio clips, things like that. Something we really need to understand about Tumblr is porn is easy to find. It's an online hangout, and it's hip and creative, but very raunchy. And there's a lot of pornographic images and videos. There's depictions of violence and self-harm and drug use, a lot of offensive language. Privacy can be guarded on this app, but only through an awkward workaround. So you have a first profile member creates. It's really complicated, and it makes it very difficult to have this privacy on there. So predators can really hit that app up and connect. Reblogging on Tumblr is similar to retweeting on Twitter. A post is reblogged from another Tumblr, they call it, to another. Many teens like, and in fact, they want their post to be reblogged. And so, again, there's a lot of that. You got Twitter, things like that. You just be careful of. I mean, a lot pornography is not totally taken out of all these. The algorithms and the privacy things don't take all this out as well. A couple of live streaming apps, House Party. It's a group video chat. Things that we need to know about this is teens like to think that what happens in a chat stays in a chat, but that's not necessarily the case. In this app, it's easy for someone to take a screenshot while in a chat and share it with whomever they want.
So you're saying that's not Vegas, huh?
That's right. Yeah.
You have more privacy in Vegas probably than you do you do online.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So whatever you put out there, somebody's got it.
Yeah.
It's going somewhere, and somebody's got it, and it gets in the wrong hands. And
right, and that's something we need to understand is that stuff. If you put it on the internet, it's out there forever.
Yeah, it never goes away.
It never goes away. It never goes away.
Trips around the world of what you put out there has already gone around how many times?
Right,
and stays.
Which Snapchat that's one of their marketing deals in Snapchat. Of course, Snapchat's a messaging app. And it lets users put messages and photos and stuff for a short time limit, and they supposedly disappear, and so they share goofy or embarrassing photos, but they also do a lot of sexting and stuff through Snapchat. Now here's what this is important. This is what we need to know as parents, guardians need to know about Snapchat. The myth that Snapchats go away forever. Here's what a lot of people don't understand. Data is data. And whenever an image is sent, it never truly goes away.
Well, there's something like that. I don't understand because I don't really get this because to me, it's not safe to do that. But you take like Facebook. People, they have a small child. They get a baby and they take pictures of the baby and then it grows a little bit and they take pictures and they put all this on Facebook. Mm-hmm. And they're putting it out there and showing it. Well, first of all, you're going to find out whether that woman has a husband because it's going to come up in there. They're going to see what your children look like. So, I mean, you're putting out there for predators to see your family.
Right.
And you may think that this is just a personal deal, but anybody can tap into that. Anybody, anywhere in the world, and they can tell, they know what you look like, they know what your children look like, they know what your house looks like, maybe what you drive. And then they probably know where you live at, too. Where you went to school at, because they put all that stuff on there. They know everything about you.
Yep.
And it's not safe, but yeah, you go put your children's pictures on there. Do you really want to put your children's pictures out there for everybody in the world to look at? I mean, you may be proud of them, but there's a lot of perverts out there.
Yeah, exactly. And something that we don't think about is if you're posting on through a social media platform or things like that, especially a photo or video app or something like Snapchat, there are location services. Your phone automatically, when you turn it on, when you first get it and you turn it on, it automatically sets to location services. So it pings your location. And so when you download an app like Facebook or Snapchat or whatever, unless you go in and you turn those off, it automatically puts a location service. So Snapchat links up with your Bitmoji account. Bitmoji is an avatar type deal, and they have silly, fun things you can send, but it links up with that. And so they can pull up, if you're a friend of somebody on Snapchat, you can pull that up. You can see where they're located, and it's pretty darn accurate where they're at. And so you have these teens and stuff that are, and these kids that are making friends with all these people, and really they're predators. And so,
well, people don't realize their information is out there. I mean, it's all over the place. I just looked myself up here on. Just put my name in there and El Reno in there. My name pops up. It tells me who my kids and everything. It puts my age and everything in there. It's got all that on there, and it's out there for anybody.
Yeah.
So your name and everything is out there. Even where you live at.
Oh my gosh, folks! This is surreal.
You can get your address on this.
Yeah.
And a lot of them will list for a fee. They'll tell you what your phone number is. I mean, this is amazing, but all this stuff is out there. Like that's just on the white pages. Then you go to Smart People and Fast People Search and stuff like that, and you look up anybody you want and find out anything you want on them out there. Mm-hmm. Like this in here, that's related to me. That's my daughter, And you can go in there and on this. My Life's really bad because it gives you it'll give you. Let me see. I can see what it says on there. Find this here.
And you're doing this all from your phone right now.
I'm doing this from my phone right now. It doesn't get a hold of my name on that. No, this is about her, and look what it says on me right there. It even tells me if I'm a good person or not.
Wow, it does. It's got a meter on there. What the?
Yeah. And then it goes in here.
Well, it was good. It was set all the way to green that you're good.
It gives me my age. It gives my birth date. It tells me what my reputation score was. Pretty good, actually. Lives in El Reno, Oklahoma. I lived in War Acres, lived in Oklahoma City. And it goes all the way down through here. It tells me I'm Caucasian. Tells me my political affiliation. It doesn't have it. It lists my religious views as Christian. It's got all this stuff on here. It tells me got my birth date. It's got everything on here. And it doesn't have my party on there.
It's got your income. Whoa.
It does everything. I mean,
whoa, gosh. Okay, listeners, we're gonna start a GoFundMe page for James because
it shows 0 on that. But Jesus provides for me, so I appreciate all donations.
That's right.
Made to the Jimmy Fund,
as the Lord leads, right?
To the Jimmy Fund.
Oh man.
But no, that stuff's out there, and people don't realize. Anybody. You can look up anybody on there. Just put the name and the town or whatever, or even just the state.
Right.
And it'll bring up every one of the people that name and take you to exactly the one you're looking for.
Yeah.
And so we're putting all this information out there. It's already out there. And then you're letting your children get involved in all this. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's nuts. And again, this is a conversation that we have to have. Now, this is probably part one of many parts that we haven't haven't touched the hem of the garment of what we can talk about. And here's the deal, folks, listeners. Here's the deal. We want to hear from you. We want to know whether you agree with us or not, whether it's something that has targeted your children, maybe yourself, whatever it is. We want to hear from you. So please email us at coffeewithphilandjim@gmail.com. You can direct message us or leave a comment at Coffee with Phil and Jim on Facebook, our Facebook page. Do this. Also, I want to remind you that I will post some links to some things that we've been talking about, some different research that we have. I'll post one on Decoy Apps, what your kids are hiding on their phones. I'll post a link to a video that talks about dangerous apps parents need to know about. I'll post that Kobe one, the dangers of Snapchat video as well, and all that.
All I did is put your name in there and put El Reno. Even got your Facebook without even going to Facebook.
It went straight to Facebook, yeah.
I mean, it's crazy stuff. It's out there, and it probably got even more stuff on you down there. All right, you did that?
Oh, crap. I paid them warrants.
So all you got to do is put a name in there and a town, and you'll get everything you want on a person. Right. It's ridiculous. We have no privacy no more, and I mean, like me, I'm not even on the internet,
right?
You know, and all that information's out there about me.
That's
crazy.
That's insane. And so your kids are connecting with all this stuff, and we've got to be aware. And that's the point of my conversation with this is the fact that, hey, look, we need to have these conversations with our kids. We need to monitor these things. We need to talk about these things. I will tell you, there are games out there like Roblox or Fortnite or Minecraft that, yeah, they're great games. They're fun. Their kids love them. But, you know, they're predators, you know, they use those avenues to do different stuff. So anyways, we gotta continue to talk about this. We're gonna wrap this episode
we'll wrap this
up
up pretty soon. I just want to mention one thing. Today is Ash Wednesday. Mm-hmm. Now Lent starts today, so you need to go down here to one of these boys that's got them ashes and put one of them ash crosses on your forehead there, you know. But you got to remember, you can't eat meat today. And for us old timers, they double penalize us here. We can't eat meat today, and we can't eat meat on Good Friday if you're over 60. I don't know what the discrimination is for that, but that seems to be the deal.
Is that in the book of Hezekiah or something?
That's in the book of the Pope. It's in the Pope book. But since I'm not Catholic, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just waiting on Easter to get here, and we'll take care of business. Well, when are we doing? The 14th? That's when we're doing
yes,
Lord's Supper.
So. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Now, that's a good deal today. That's good. I like that. You better make sure you're clean when you go in.
That's right.
But anyway, so since you went and made this all a big bummer show here, but this, you know, I was all happy and kind of good, doing good coming in here, you know, and then all of a sudden, man, he started talking about all this stuff, you know. I don't know, man. You know, I had to go home and lock myself in a room for about a week, you know, think about this. No, but it's really serious, people. It's really serious stuff. We don't realize one of the deacons in my old church, he was a captain on the Oklahoma City Police Force. And he said, what you hear on the news and you see out there in the papers, he says, that's just the tip of the iceberg. He says, most people knew what went on in Oklahoma City on any given day would not leave their homes.
Yeah.
And so it's a dangerous world out there. You're sending your children out into it. You're letting them talk to people they shouldn't be talking to. And it's time to get a hold on this here and make sure, I mean, you can't ever protect them 100%. They're going to go off with friends. You can do whatever with their phone, but they're going to go to their friend's house, and they got a different phone, and they got computers and tablets and everything else there. So it's kind of hard to really manage that unless you make sure who their friends are.
Right.
So that's a very important thing there, too. You know, you find friends that you want them to be with, and if they're Christians, that's fine. That's what you want anyway. And hopefully they'll stay away from this kind of stuff and won't even try to experiment with it. But you never guaranteed anything on that because we live in a fallen world. And, you know, God destroyed everybody but 8 people. And, you know, still Sodom and Gomorrah came after the flood. So, I mean, just means the world's just get rid of all the perverts. They'll just breed another group of them.
Yeah,
That's the way it is, you know. Because this is a fallen, broken society. And until we all come to Jesus Christ or Christ returns, you know, nothing's really going to change. It's going to get worse. So try to do the best you can with your children. There's no 100% guarantees on it. Never is, never will be, as long as we're in a fallen world. So.
Yep.
But anyway, I got off my soapbox here, and I don't know. I'm going to go with little Roy today, but I'm not in no mood for no happy trails here. But,
Sorry about that.
Maybe a little Rascals, Beautiful Morning. That sound all right?
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Lift our spirits a little bit, right?
Yeah, we'll do something there. We'll get there. Okay, here we go out with this.
This is a commercial about buying cars.
No, how'd that get on there? There we go. Forget the commercial.
It's a beautiful morning. I think I'll go outside for a while and just smile. Just taking some clean, fresh air for get inside. If the weather's fine and you've got the time, it's your chance to wake up and plan another brand new day. Either way, it's a beautiful morning. Each bird keeps singing his own song. So long, I've got to be on my way now.
All right. Now, it's a beautiful morning.
All right. Well, until next time, folks, this is Phil.
And this is Rodrigo Pergodas, better known as Jimmy Nic.
Happy trails, guys.
Adios.